Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Today's card is a design for the Stampin' Up! Blog Hop, and the theme for this month is the new annual catalogue, the 2022-2023 catalogue. New is, for example, the Blossoming Happiness dies and the Happiness Abounds stamp set. Great is that also products carry over, and I've used those as well, the Stitched Greenery die and the Stitched Rectangles dies. In the video I'll be showing you how you can make these beautifully soft colours and tips. I'll give you tips on how to create a frame, and just look what I've done with the leftover bit on the inside of the card. Here you have a closer look at the card, and you can see the beautiful flowers that I've made as well as the very pretty frame. I've added some brushed brass butterflies, there we go again, and on the inside I've used a leftover for the sentiment. So first let's take a look at what I have used. Of course, the Happiness Abounds with the matching dies, Stitched Greenery and the Stitched Rectangles, and I'll show you later how you can make a beautifully matching frame which is equal on all sides. These are the inks. I'm going to use a sponge daubers and one of these things, a cotton bud. And I've already made some of my flowers and leaves. I'll show you with the last ones that I need. And here you have the brushed brass butterflies again. And for the dimensions of the card, you need some thick basic white, which is 4 1/8 by 11 inches, which you're going to score at 5.5. You need a piece of basic white, and you need a strip for the sentiment. I'm also going to be using the clear Stampin' Emboss powder and Versamark ink. And then I think I've mentioned everything that I'm using in this card. I think I have. So let's start and score the card. Then I think I'll first continue with the frame for the flowers to go on. So I need the Stitched Greenery die, and I want my Stitched Rectangles first of all. Now this is the size that I'm going to use on the card, and I'll show you with a couple more how I make sure that my frame ends up exactly in the middle, because you can try to do it like this, but I found that I just didn't get it right. So what you do is you use your grid paper and a marker, and I have these, it's called IdentiPen, and what I do is I see which is the middle of this frame on my grid paper. So it's just a matter of counting. You see now that I have marked both of my rectangles dies, and I've put them back onto the grid paper, and I've put my markings onto the lines in the middle, and now you can use some sticky tape to tape them together, and then you have a frame which looks beautiful every time you die cut it. I decided to add 2 more pieces of sticky tape because it kept slipping on me. I've used this frame more often now, and then it's not so sticky anymore. Of course, if you want to get it out, it is sticky. But when I was trying to die cut it, it slipped. And now it doesn't. Okay, carefully remove it, and then you have your frame with a leftover piece. Now, the leftover piece, as I promised you, I'm going to show you how I use that as well. I'm putting my frame over here, and I have my little piece of cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. I want this to be a birthday card. I'm stamping just a little towards the right because I want it on towards the right. Hope it's in the middle. That's okay. If not, there's plenty of paper where that came from. Then I'm going to adhere it to my piece, which you would normally have binned. Putting it on my grid paper to get my tear and tape on right. And this is ready for later as well, to go on the inside of the card. Now for the flowers, I said I was going to use my sponge daubers, a cotton bud, because I'm going to create these flowers and these leaves, 3 of each. And I'm just using my Versamark to create these white outlines. You can use your white Stampin' Emboss powder, but when you use your Versamark and clear emboss powder on white cardstock, it'll show up white anyway. Make sure your Versamark pad is nice and juicy. So I'm going to ink them up, stamp them, heat set them, and colour them. So I'm going to show you how to create that streaky look on the leaves, and I'm using, as you can see, a cotton bud for it. Just tap it onto the ink pad, and then you start here at the bottom where leaves are darker. If you think there may be too much ink on your cotton bud, you just wipe it off a little, and then you just go over it Doesn't look very nice, does it? I had too much ink to start with, but part of it will be under the flower anyway. So I should have used a less heavy hand. I think I'll go and make a new one in a minute, because I'm not happy with this one, because these look better, I think. And I'm going to show you how I do the flower. The heart is the Daffodil Delight. Just a sponge dauber, you tap it, and you tap it in the middle of the flower where the centre is, and then with a little cloth you just wipe away the ink that's on the white embossing. And I have my, so now I want the polished pink one. Just checking which colours I already used. You ink up your sponge dauber, tap off what may be too much, and then you start around the outer edge. This ink isn't as dark as the other ones. So you go around the outer edge, and then you move towards the centre, towards where that yellow circle is. And again, you gently rub away the ink you don't need. If you want to, you can go back around the heart of the flower. And this then is ready to be die cut. Before I do so, I'm going to make another set of leaves. You will have to agree that this looks better than my other effort. Now then, all I have to do is assemble my card. Just put my die over there as well. Let me see, my card base, 3 flowers and a frame. I'm using my tear and tape for the frame. See how much is on this one, because there are holes in the paper, and if you use your liquid glue it might seep out. So that's why after 2 efforts I decided to use my tear and tape, which works equally well, and at least it's a dry glue. This still holds out. I had already taken out my new spool of tear and tape just in case. See how far we can get. It seems to be doing okay. And there's still some left. With your bone folder, press down on your tear and tape to make sure it adheres well, and it's also easier if you do that to remove the backing. Now this is the front of the card. Make sure you have it the right way up, and you remove the backing and stick on the frame. And then the flowers can go on. I'm going to use my Seal Plus for that. I don't need glue along the edges because I want to be able to stick the leaves under. And this one goes over here, and I'm using some liquid glue for my leaves. And this goes on the inside. Oh, I thought about that and I thought, well, this is such a strong glue, and that's my mistake. Because it's such a strong glue, and of course I have put holes in the paper, it might tear up your paper. So I'm just, to make sure, I'm just putting on a piece of tear and tape. I shouldn't have used my seal. My mistake. So my advice is, for the inside, use your tear and tape as well. And then I'm putting this roughly in the middle. And you have a very pretty card finished. Oh no, I keep forgetting those things. I usually forget to add the little embellishments, and I shouldn't, because they do make a difference on a card often. So before I'm saying, oh, there's one that came off anyway. So I'm using this one and a bigger one. Now my card is finished and I can show you the results. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.